Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video I wanted to share with you all my preparations that I'm making for Final Fantasy XV's first DLC, the Holiday Pack. For those who don't know, this is a free DLC that is being launched for the game on December 22nd, 2016, though, if you are a Season Pass holder, it does come with some nifty bonuses on top of the free version. If you want all the details, be sure to either click the I in the top right corner of the video, if I remember to include it, or the description to check out what all the details are on the Holiday Pack. So one of the items that's actually going to be coming with the Holiday Pack, this is the free version by the way, is the level limiter, which is going to disallow Noctis and his crew from tallying experience points at campsites and hotels, meaning we can do a level 1 run through of the game. It seems that it's going to be an accessory, but we'll find out for sure in 2 days if it's just an option we can toggle or something we actually need to wear as we play the game. So for this video, I want to share with you all the preparations and plans I have for tackling a level 1 playthrough of Final Fantasy XV when it comes out on the 22nd. So me, I'm going to do new game, regular new game with just a fresh save file right off the bat. Now keep in mind, for this, the first thing I want to mention, if you are a Season Pass holder and you get the Holiday Pack Plus, you're going to get items that are going to increase the amount of AP you gain when you gain an A+ in combat. Now, one of them comes with the free version. I believe getting an A+ in offense, you'll get bonus AP. I believe that comes with the free version of the Holiday Pack. But in the full version, you also get bonus AP for getting A+ in the other two end combat statistics on the report card. So that's going to be a major focus for me for grinding up as much AP as early on as possible. Before we go into what I'm going to spend that AP on though, let's go down my list right here. So first of all, what weapons am I going to use? Well, the Assassin's Daggers was the first thing I thought of for the poison proc. I've destroyed a lot of enemies that were way higher level than me in the base game without being level 1 with the poison. So Assassin's Daggers for the poison proc is the first thing. Now you can purchase them not too far into the game, but you can also obtain them really early, like right at the beginning of chapter 3, by going to this small lake in the Diskai region. Dino actually sends you on a quest here. The quest is called a Stone-Studded Stunner. And since poison is super strong against enemies regardless of level, that's the first item I'm grabbing. My other weapons of choice are probably going to be great swords, and I'm mostly using these for invincibility frames on things like link strikes and blindside strikes. I just don't see myself getting killed if I'm constantly doing these team attacks. And the final weapons that I'm looking at here are going to be the King's weapons. Now, not only do these ignore defense, but some of them provide buffs when you actually use them. However, because I'm going to be level 1 and all of my health is pretty much going to come from accessories and food, I'm thinking about just having some of them equipped for the stats to make killing enemies a little bit easier. I highly anticipate needing to use a lot of magic in this run, so the 4th slot will probably be safe for that, while this 3rd slot is going to be used for one of the King's weapons, whichever one I end up needing the most. Moving on to accessories, now at max we only get 3 slots per character, and that's if you even bother to farm all the AP for that. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to want HP or magic in these slots. It might be viable for me to stack resistances. I remember against Angelus, when I beat him on normal mode, I stacked 90% ballistics resistance and it worked really well. But I don't know how effective that's going to be with how little health I'm actually going to have. So I'm throwing that one up in the air just in case. If resistances end up being a way to go though, getting the Celestriad early from the 10 Guild Justice Monsters 5 machines is definitely going to help a ton. Even if you don't go for that, the Justice Monsters 5 machines, the one that only costs 10 gil, have a ton of other rewards. If you're serious about that, you're going to end up spending hours actually doing it before you get all the ones that you want. Now, moving on to magic. Now, if all else fails and it's too difficult to do with actively attacking like you would in a normal playthrough, magic is always going to be a great fallback point. Magic can't be fatal to Noctis, I believe, unless you have Blast Cast. So I'm going to be using it for bursting down enemies, and before I get the Assassin's Daggers, or if an enemy is too threatening for me to get close enough, things like Venom Cast are going to be very, very good. If not, I'll be looking at multicast things. There's a few good items that you can actually get for multicast early on. You can either use the Saber Tusks to craft a lot of magic, although they're single targets with no bonus effects, or there's another item you can buy. I believe it's Sheep's Milk or something along those lines. You can buy it right from your car. They're 10 gil a pop, and for 99 of them, which is just going to cost you 1,000 gil, it makes a decent amount of magic. So, of multicast magic, I should say. So I'm looking at those things for my basics with magic. One big thing I got to do though is I don't know elemental weaknesses off the top of my head, so I might use wait mode just to make better use of the magic. Besides, there's some other things in the wait mode tree we'll talk about later, which are really good for this kind of run through. Also, by the way, if you're willing to sacrifice an accessory slot and you're a Season Pass holder, Holiday Pack Plus is going to come with a Ring of Resistance, which makes your teammates not take damage or not take friendly fire damage from your magic. Now, I don't know if that means the magic that you leave behind, because, you know, a lot of magic leaves behind like a field on the ground that deals damage over time. I don't know if it'll make him resistant to that, but at least the initial cast maybe. And finally, I'm looking at the Ascension tree, and I'm trying to figure out what the last things I'm going to need are. So triple accessory seems to be one of the best things. Because I won't be getting any stats from levels, accessories are going to be for where I get the bulk of my stats, especially if I'm willing to do the dungeons or Justice Monsters 5 really early on. However, the top half of the stat tree, useless. You're going to get, what, 1 HP, 10 HP if you get all of them, 1 strength, 1 vitality, 1 spirit. Don't mess with the top half of the tree unless you really find yourself needing 10 health for the health part of it. We also mentioned wait mode before, so it's good, but it's not just good for the Libra on the enemies. I went through this tree, and one of the benefits is if you scan an enemy, you deal increased damage to whatever elements it's weak to. There's also one that if you scan an enemy, your allies deal more damage. So there's actually a lot of really useful things that aren't too expensive AP-wise on the wait tree. So I might consider doing a wait mode playthrough for this level 1 just to get some of those bonuses. Speaking of farming AP, of course, exploration for gaining more AP on a playthrough it's always good, even on just a regular playthrough. The good news is, no, I don't need to spend any extra points getting experience points from any of this stuff. Not like the 10 experience points ever added up from driving my car for long distances, but not going to even think about bothering with those on this playthrough. As for techniques, I'm having a hard time deciding. So Ignis's enhancement, if I plan to attack constantly, is always going to be good. Prompto has a ton of useful skills. Gravisphere is going to be really good if I plan to use magic. Piercer is always good for lowering vitality. Star Shell is good at weakening demons, which of course you have to fight plenty throughout the game. And also Gladio's Royal Guard to help call you to safety and block for you. And even to, if you want to enhance it a little bit more, knock enemies away from you. If you eat Gladio's favorite food, I believe it knocks enemies away from you. So there's some neat little benefits that we can get from that as well. So and don't forget that, by the way, something that we gloss over a lot. You get bonus effects for some of these techniques if you eat their favorite foods. And a big one is Gladio's Royal Guard, where he actively knocks enemies away from the initial point. So that's another big one to keep in mind. The tree I'll probably end up spending the most points in, though, is the magic tree. The potency early on, the ability to draw more magic early on, all of that's going to come in handy. And I do see myself probably trying to use the engine blade until I get the assassin's daggers. I don't know if I'll put the points into drawing magic with weapons, because I don't know how much I plan on using the drain lance and the engine blade after chapter 3. But at the very least, I might consider grabbing them early just to get myself a little bit ahead. It's going to be all about locating those magic flasks, though, when it comes to this part of the tree. Just because, you know, I'm going to need as many slots as possible for magic. Oh, and that's right, I almost completely forgot about food. Food is tough because a lot of food is like attack plus, HP plus. I'd imagine I either want massive HP boosts or the equalizer trait. So I only know of a few recipes that give equalizer. I'm sure I'm missing some. Seasoned Midgardsormer, which you get from eating the spicy skewers in Lestulum. And the spicy skewers give equalizer as well, so you can technically just buy the effect, but it's like 7,000 gil or something. Or Hot Hopper skewers, which you get from gathering garlic. The Midgardsormer and the spicy skewers gives equalizer, attack, and HP. That's probably my best bet. But I don't exactly see myself farming shanks for the Midgardsormer shanks, because those enemies are pretty high level. And then on top of that, spending the 7,200 gil. I don't know how much side farming I'm going to be doing, so I don't know if I'm really going to be able to afford that. So that's tough, but I would really love to get the equalizer trait whenever possible, since it allows you to deal damage based on the difference in level. And I'm pretty sure that as a level 1 playthrough, that's going to come in handy. If I'm just going to go the route of straight up HP food, I mean, like I said, most foods in the game have HP, but it's really the expensive and the rare ones that require some pretty strong materials. Like Lasagna al Forno, it boosts HP by 4,000 and makes you immune to fire, lightning, and what's the other element? Ice spells. But I mean, you need Jabberwock sirloins for that. So I'm trying to think of what the guy in Lestulum has, the guy who sells the slightly rarer materials. If anything, your car has tons of materials in it as well for making at least semi-decent HP and attack foods. I've also considered the Fluffy Chiffon Cake, which is pretty easy to make. It gives you 200 defense, 200 spirit, and 1,000 health. All of those resistances with the 1,000 health might actually stack up and make you a little bit tankier in order to survive the massive level difference. But yeah, I'm still considering a bunch of things. I just wanted to share with you guys some of my ideas for the level 1 run. I'm going to be doing this as soon as the patch goes live. Hopefully it's live before I start stream on Thursday, because that's when I plan to do it, especially with all the stuff going on this weekend. You know, we have Christmas, Christmas Eve. My birthday is next Tuesday. There's a bunch of stuff going on, so I'm hoping that the patch is up early on Thursday. But anyway, let me know if you have any thoughts of ways you're going to tackle level 1, and don't say spam potions. I'm going to try to use items as little as possible on this playthrough, I promise, but we'll see how it actually ends up working out. But anyway, be sure to come by the stream, check out the level 1 run on Thursday. We're not doing New Game Plus, just New Game, although I probably will check out New Game Plus sometime after the weekend is over. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more Final Fantasy 15 videos, guides, all that good stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.